pasture, run 'em in the pen, work 'em on the Sundays, do it all again. Race 'em in the sand, buck 'em in the mud, drip a cowboy's sweat, bleed a cowboy's blood.
Hi, I'm tie-down roper Tyson Durfee, and you are watching the Pepper Stewart Show.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're watching. You are for some rhyme or reason. Woo! You're tuned into the show. The show you wanted to see, because if you didn't want to see it, you wouldn't be tuned into it, right? So apparently you were that bored, you tuned in to see what was going on. So you are here.
Somebody may be watching from down in Livingston, Texas right now.
Where's the hardware department?
Yeah. People watching from all over the world, especially Japan. So we want to say, how's it going? You know, I was going to study up on this, and I lost track and forgot. But I was going to work on my Japanese language, my language speaking, so that I could habla some Japanese. But I didn't get around to that. We got, Tokyo has taken the UK over in England was killing on the over out of the country numbers, and now it's Tokyo. Tokyo, Japan is killing it. So that's interesting fact. I guess it's because we picked up we're on another station over in England, so I guess they figured out they don't have to watch the live show. They can just wait and watch it in their own country on their own time, right?
We live in Texas.
Yes. All right, we got stuff today, as we always do. A lot of stuff for you guys. I had gotten numerous requests for some information, which I don't know why people asked for it when they could have went and got it on their own. But I hate to beat a dead horse, but they've been wearing me out wanting to know about the Joe Beaver results that we were talking about last week, because what I did is we kind of thought it was funny that all these kids from up north were all upset about what Joe Beaver said, but they didn't even do any research to have any facts about what was going on, so they were all upset. So what I had done is we had pulled results from the past 20 years. We pulled it from when it started. We went to 20 years, since he mentioned 20 years. So we pulled all the results from 20 years and figured out how many world champions there were from each state from the last 20 years. And what we found out was interesting. We found out that 32 world champions came from Utah.
Way up north.
So in the last 20 years, 32 high school rodeo world champions came out of the state of Utah. How many came out of the state of Texas? 23.
Yo, that's bad for.
Yeah. So it just goes to the fact that, dude, you gotta do some research, people. So if you want to know what you're talking about, research it. Look it up. Google is your friend. So with that, we got some stuff going on today. We got some tunes. We are going to throw at you. We're going to throw tunes at you. We're going to make some phone calls. We're going to tell you some stories. And stories we do have. We do have stories.
All the time. Oh. Yeah, honey. Turn this on.
So, what is that? Going on. All right, so anyhow, that's what's happening. We're going to throw down a tune in your ear hole right quick, and we will be back. We're going to throw down Katie Graves, Whiskey Kate, after her tragic brain injury. She has finally recorded a new tune. You may or may not heard us talk about that before, but we're going to play it for you just to let you know what's going on. Then we got some oh, come on, this thing's not moving. There we go. We got some calls tonight. We're going to talk to Burt Rutherford, Beef Magazine. We're talking to him about some China beef. China and beef that's in the news has been all over the place. We've got Nicole. We'll talk to Nicole. She's an author. She wrote a book, a couple of books that she's written. One about Billy the Kid and a romance, Western romance story about Billy the Kid. So we're going to tell you about that. We're going to talk to her a little bit and find out some information about that you want to know. People want to know information, so we're going to tell you that. Tex is going to tell you stuff, probably.
I know it all.
He knows some stuff. But we got our random stories as always. We got some random stories still in there. We got a little bit of PBR news for you. I'm just trying to go through all the junk we got here. We got some PRCA results. Just stuff. So anyhow, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to burn up your ear holes with some Whiskey Kate. And then we will come back. And what we're going to do, we're going to throw this tune out, come back, ring-a-ding-ding, Burt, and talk about beef right off the bat. Look at Tex. He looks sleeping. He's asleep over there. What's he doing?
I'm awake. I'm awake big time.
He's awake. Well, let's find out.
I see the storm brewing in your eyes, a quiet chaos most don't recognize. Oh, the moment that gets you high. I wanna be a chaos, yeah, wanna be a high soul. Love me broken and love me whole. Love me any damn way, don't let me go. Don't need a hero, just stand by me. Come the chaos of you and me. I walked the fire, I've been to hell, wrestled the devil and freed myself. I can handle your demons, you can handle me. What I can't handle is you leaving me. So love me broken and let me whole, and love me any damn way. Don't let me go. I don't need a hero, just stand by me. Come the chaos, you and me. Love me broken, love me any damn way. Don't let me go. Don't need a hero, just stand by me. Come the chaos, you and me. Come the storm, come the sea, come the aching hurricane of me. I can handle your demons, you can handle me. What I can't handle is you leaving me. So love me broken and let me whole. Love me any damn way, don't let me go. I don't need a hero, just stand by me. Come the chaos, you and me.
How about that? How about that? Little Whiskey Kate right there for you. Check it out.
I know her.
Internet. Yeah.
I met her a few times.
Yeah. She
Maybe
was-
once.
One time she was live here in the studio back in the old days, playing some tunes for us. So that's a good deal. Somebody want to know what that book was we were talking about. We got a book right here. Look at that.
Bandita Bonita.
Look at that. Romance and Billy the Kid. That's it right there. That's the book. That's the book. Actually, there's two of them. In case you're wondering. There's
Volume 1, Volume 2.
Dos Libras. Right there. Good stuff right there.
All about Billy the Kid.
Not just about Billy the Kid. It's about Billy the Kid and a 16-year-old Lucy right there. So we're gonna talk to her and find out what's up with that. We do need to do this ring-a-ding-ding right quick because I know he's got to get to a meeting. So,
As do I. I got a meeting that I gotta go to.
I think it's a different kind of meeting.
My meeting got 12 steps in it.
It's got you. So you got stairs to get in there, or what?
Yeah.
You got stairs.
Gotta go for your step.
You got steps to get into it. All right.
Her philosophy, figure speak.
Burt, he's a senior editor for Beef Magazine. Reports on the beef industry. He's got about 40 years experience communicating about beef in the industry. So he knows what he's talking about.
This is Burt Rutherford, senior editor at Beef Magazine. Can't make it to the phone right now.
That's what I just said. He must have read my mind.
Are we gonna leave him a voicemail?
No. We'll just try one more time. We'll try it again. As he is expecting our call. He maybe watched the show too and doesn't realize about the delay. That happens a lot of times. Folks are watching, they don't realize there's about a 30-second delay or so. But I guess I can continue. Before he was with Beef Magazine, he was communication director for the Texas Cattle Feeder Association for 21 years right there.
This is Burt Rutherford, senior editor at Beef Magazine. Can't make it to the phone right now. Please leave a message, and I'll call you back.
Let's leave a
Thanks.
message.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Burt. Hey, this is the Pepper Stewart Show calling you.
Let's do this thing.
All right. So anyhow, that's Burt. Guess we'll get to that. He said he had a meeting. Is there time zone difference? I don't know where he's at.
Is he on the eastern
He's not in
coast or
Texas.
west coast?
Well, he's a native of Colorado. He went to Colorado University up there. Degree in agricultural journalism. So.
Well, maybe he'll call back.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll see about that. We'll see what's going on with that. I don't know what in the world that's doing. What else we got going on? You gonna tell me a story about? Just tell me a story about something, and we'll try one more time.
Well, I don't know. What about veggie beef? I got a whole recipe over here for a veggie beef burger.
A veggie beef burger, all right?
I'm all about learning how to cook. I'm thinking about finding that recipe.
A veggie burger?
Yeah, the veggie burger.
All right, tell me about that.
You know what kind of ingredient I need?
Well, in a veggie burger, you need vegetables, evidently.
The number one ingredient I need is 2 pounds of ground beef. Did you hear that? 2 pounds of ground beef.
What?
All right. Then you need zucchini, carrot, garlic, jalapeno, red plum, not red plum. Then you got 1 egg. Somebody calling. We'll talk about that veggie beef burger later that has beef in it. Well, I don't get it. It's kind of like when I have to call my girlfriend. I keep on hearing ring.
That's what it sounds like when it's ringing. Bert, you there? Hello. Can you hear me now? Hello. Hello.
I get the chain response from my girlfriend.
That what happens to you too?
Yeah.
What happens?
If I call them, they don't answer. If they do, they don't say nothing. Then they hang up.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about that phone number they give me.
That happens. That's what we'll try it one more time. All right. Let's try this again.
This is Burt Rutherford,
Hello.
senior editor of
Hello,
Beef Magazine.
Ned.
Oh.
Can't make it to the phone right now.
We got
Please
two
leave a
lines
message,
on one time
and I'll
here.
call you back. Thanks.
This is Burt.
At the tone, please record your message.
We got two.
When you have finished recording, you may
We
hang
were
up
calling
or
you, you
press
called us
1
at the
for
same
more
time.
options.
I get a really long voicemail. Are you there with us?
Yes, I can hear you now.
You can hear me now. All right. All right. So we got Burt Rutherford right here on the Pepper Stewart Show. We're going to talk about some beef. So, what has been going on? I know it's been taking over the news, and everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants to know what's going on, and it's the China deal.
Yeah, that's very much been kind of one of the news things this week. You know, the other big news thing this week has been Five Rivers Cattle Feeding Company. Hang on, I'm driving, Ned. I apologize.
All right.
Let me pull over here, and we'll get rid of that. Get rid of that maps.
If you are satisfied with your message, press 1 to listen to your message. Press 2 to erase and re-record. Press 3 to continue recording where you left off.
But
Press
back
4.
to China, you know, the reason, obviously, that it's such a big deal.
Are you
is,
still there? If you are satisfied with your message, press 1 to listen to your message. Press 2 to erase and re-record.
Like has been
Press
said
3
before,
to continue
you know,
recording where
a
you left
billion
off.
of anything
Press
is
4.
a big number.
Yeah.
And
Are you still there?
You know,
If you
according
are
to
satisfied
the
with your message,
statistics
press
I've
1 to
seen,
listen to your message. Press 2 to erase and re-record.
Chinese,
Press 3 to continue
per
recording
capita
where you
average
left off.
consumption,
Press
you know,
4.
per person per year is about 12 pounds of beef.
Sorry you're having
and
trouble.
so,
Your message has been sent. Goodbye.
You know, the potential of that market is just huge.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we don't know what that potential really can be. You know, the only thing that we have is the meat that we've sent through Hong Kong and Vietnam.
All right.
And Vietnam doesn't report any of that. Hang on, let me turn this maps off.
Okay.
Well,
Hello.
You got GPS up and running?
okay.
There we go.
All right. Here we go. I apologize for that. You know, but the only thing that we have to go by as far as what that potential market might be is the beef that we've exported to Vietnam and Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And Vietnam doesn't report any of that sort of stuff. So you look at Hong Kong's numbers, and in 2016, beef imports into Hong Kong were 18% of the total, and that total was 662,000, basically, metric tons. And the other thing we don't know is how much of that is muscle cuts and how much of that is offal.
Right.
Or variety meats, you know, as we call them. And I think that's in terms of China, really, I think we're looking at two different markets. You know, the upper end, you know, those 5-star hotels, you know, where people going to China for business or whatever are going to stay.
Yeah.
That's probably where our whole muscle cuts, our steaks, you know, our high-quality grain-fed beef has been served in the past and will continue to be served. The other Chinese market is the Chinese people, and their diet, you know, is significantly different than ours. I can recall back to the 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing and watching the TV coverage there, and just being amazed that somebody would eat fried scorpions on a stick.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah, so those variety meats, for instance, the omesum, which is one of the four stomachs in a beef animal, a ruminant beef animal. Omesum is fairly popular in China, and so from that standpoint, in terms of adding value to the total carcass, I think that's where China is really most exciting.
Huh. And so what does it look like as far as, I know there's been a lot of talks with the traceability and stuff like that. Have you seen anything new going on with any newer rules or regulations that relate to that?
I was really surprised at because China has in the other countries that it has had export-import agreements with, has demanded a basically birth to death traceability system.
Yeah.
We don't have that in the United States, at least from a national perspective. So China agreed to basically the bookend system that we have now in the U.S. as a national program. But my understanding is that you're still going to have to be able to audit those cattle with some sort of like an RFID tag or something like that.
Yeah.
So as that flows back to the business, from the packers, once they get more packers get certified to export to China, that'll come back to the feed yards, and then ultimately that will come back down to the ranch. And there will be programs then put into place that if you want to be a part of, you can make sure that your calves that you raise on the ranch are going to qualify for
One of them deals that everybody's talking about it, and there's every week it seems like somebody's got a new story out about it, but really nothing has went any further than when it started. What it seems like.
Right, and that's because at this point, we're still things are still up in the air, and so while it's exciting, I think long term it's going to be huge for the beef business in the United States. I think right now the wise thing to do is just kind of go slowly.
Yeah.
Even though we've been exporting product to China for a long time through the back door of Hong Kong and Vietnam, there's still a lot about that market that we need to learn. There's still, the packers are going to have to get those relationships better established. Now we have an advantage. The packers have an advantage because we've been exporting pork products to China all along. Mm-hmm. So those relationships and some of those channels are already there.
All right.
But I think we just need to be careful. We need to go into this slowly, and most importantly, we need to make sure that we don't stub our toe somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
The other main thing in the Chinese market that you're going to have to pay attention to is the use of ractopamine, which is one of the growth promoters.
Oh.
And so there already are what we call never ever programs in place, and so the infrastructure is there. We just need to make absolutely sure that we don't stub our toe somewhere along the way, because the Chinese are going to be testing every load of beef that comes in.
Yeah. Yeah. So when that thing finally, go ahead.
I was saying, and if we do stub our toe, why, then that just creates a problem that we really don't need to have to try to work our way through.
Yeah, and that'll be something that I think once it finally gets there and finally kicks off, and get eased, eased into it, get in there the right way, make sure we're following all the good guidelines. I think after I'd figure after maybe the first year or two, it may just kick that door wide open and send them all the beef they want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ned, I would agree with you. I would surely agree with you. And then we'll see how those market signals work. We've been, in 2014, 2015, when things were really good, a lot of people were looking at adding more cattle. That's kind of cooled off a little bit, but I'm not sure how much.
Yeah.
And as we get into that market and as we begin to see what we're looking at in terms of volume, I think long term, boy, that it could really be positive. We could see certainly better prices. We could probably, see some incentive to continue to grow our herd here.
Yeah, and that's what we'll look forward to. I guess is kind of keeping. I guess we'll keep an eye on that until something really happens. In the meantime, we'll follow up on whatever else pops up in the news. And I know you're busy and you got to get somewhere, so we won't hold you any longer, Burt. And we appreciate you visiting with us, and we'll continue to talk about Beef Magazine stories, send folks your way, and when something else comes up, holler at us and we'll talk about it.
I sure will, and I apologize for that lady interruption there. I thought I could be where I wanted to be in time, and I couldn't get there. So
it happened. It happened.
But,
it happens sometimes, but it all works out in the end.
Yeah, but Ned, I appreciate your calling me, and keep on with the good work.
All right, thank you, sir, and we'll see you down the road.
You bet.
That's him right there, Burt Rutherford, Beef Magazine, El Jefe right there, telling you about beef and stuff, because he knows it. Beef Magazine will send you an email every day about what's going on. If you go to beefmagazine.com, go to the website, sign up for the newsletter, every day you will get an email of what's going on in the world of the beef.
Beef, what for dinner?
Yeah, what's for dinner right now is water. Water's for dinner.
Maybe a veggie burger.
How about this? How about we throw a kink in this meal right here? We got one tune for you, and then we'll be back to tell you about some stuff, random stories, and talk to Nicole about her book. But right now we're going to throw some Doc West Band in your face, and we shall return.
He's a ton of muscle, branded fur, blood, hooves, and bones. By the way, his eyes locked on me, well, he don't like me none. He's never given up 8 seconds, don't like cowboys on his back. When the hand pulls that gate, man, it's the only fun he'll ever have. He's kicking up arena dust, and out of the cloud, he's the only one standing. It's a hard day's work, and damn it hurts.
request been right there in your ear hole. How about that? Like that video in your. Not only was it in your ear hole, it was in your face as well. If that makes any sense to you. But we're here. We're here. We don't know what's going on, but we're here. If that makes any sense to anybody out there in the viewer listening land.
Can I give a shout out?
A shout out for what? What are you shouting out to now?
I got a fan back down south. I got to give a shout out to her beautiful daughter who's fighting something medical.
Oh, is this kid over 20 years old? Or you?
She's 18. I just give it a shout. So I just want to give a shout out. Recover fast, heal quickly. Get to let you know we are thinking about you.
Yeah.
You are in our thought and prayer.
How about you tell me a story about something? You got
Speaking of,
you got Hong Kong. You got Hong Kong over there. I think that's, people live in New York City deal with this kind of stuff because, from what I understand, up in the big city, parking is an issue. There's not a lot of parking spaces to park your vehicles, so I understand parking's an issue, and a lot of times you have to buy your parking spot.
As in the case of Hong Kong, China.
All right. Well, tell me about this Hong Kong China deal.
He purchased the world's most expensive parking space.
Expensive parking space.
In an apartment lot building. He paid the record price of $654,300, over $500,000. But the previous record, he wasn't the only guy that paid this month for over $500,000. The previous record, which he broke, was $615,467. That 188 square foot parking space purchase cost more than some homes in Hong Kong, including a 2-bedroom home. The 2-bedroom home only sold for $538,000. So you can buy a house cheaper than you can buy a parking space in Hong Kong. Yeah. The Hong Kong high property prices, expensive parking spaces are considered as a status symbol. It's a status. And those willing to spend more than $6.4 million for an apartment will not want to leave their vehicle in a public car spot. Yeah. You don't want to park your car in the street if you pay you live in $1 million home.
No, you don't want to do that.
It's harder to say whether these properties are worth the money, but they see them as necessity. Now they feel your car is a necessity. And if they can afford them, more power to them, right?
That's it. More power to them.
You want to talk? What about this one about teen boys?
What?
I got an article over here to get teen boys. You want to talk about?
All right, tell me about that.
England teen boy protest uniform policy by wearing skirt to school. Well, that's a little racist.
All right.
Yeah, sometimes it's too hot to wear pants. I want to wear a short, but I can't.
Now,
but you know what? The
women
can wear skirts. Why can't I? Hey, that's a good argument.
Because they got to keep it cool. Where was this at?
In England.
In where?
England.
It's not hot over there.
Apparently it is. They don't want to wear a short.
It's not hot.
I mean, they want to wear a short, but they can't.
It's not hot.
So they wear women's clothes.
It's not hot in England. I was there in June. We go every couple years in June. Think about Texas heat in June. In June, I'm wearing a coat. In England, I wear a coat every day. In June, in England, and you're telling me that it's so hot, the kids, these boys want to wear shorts to school.
This was posted today, by the way. This is today post.
Yeah.
June 22nd.
And I was there in June. I'm telling you, it's not hot over there. Tell them, you come over here to Texas for a while in June, and then when you go back home, tell me if it's hot.
Well, you wanna hear the story about I want to read. Can I read this story about a dozen of teenage boys?
Yeah, go ahead. That's right up your alley.
No. Dozen. That's 12. A teenage boy had a checker day school in England. Wore a skirt to school. Skirt. Right here. I guess, I don't know. I didn't get it. After they were prohibited from wearing shorts during the summer heat. The summer heat.
It's not hot. I'm telling you. It's like 60 degrees over there in the summertime.
Male students are required to wear full-length trousers despite the high temperature.
High temperature. Really?
One was forced to change because the skirt was too short, and another was told his legs were too hairy. But the rest were permitted to wear the skirt for the rest of the day.
What?
Yeah. Well, you can wear a skirt if you like. Then one of the head teachers said, well, you can wear a skirt if you like, but I think she was being sarcastic. However, children tend to take you literally. So 5 boys turned up in skirts today. Because she told them it was okay, there was nothing she could do as long as they are at school. Because unless they're in school uniform, she can't do anything about it. Nearly 10 times as many students joined the protest the following day, and more arrived wearing skirts.
That's good. I just want to join in the fun.
And they shaved their legs so they could. They shaved their legs using Pink Ranger on the way to school.
Them boys probably thought it was funny to shave their legs until they realized what happened after you shave your legs.
Now, I want to know what they shaved them with Pink Ranger. What's the point of that audit?
They probably got their mom. That's probably their mom's razor. That's why.
We will hope that this protest will encourage the school to implement a warm weather policy for the boys' uniform.
What warm weather? I'm telling you.
Shorts are not currently a part of our uniform for boys, and I will not want to make any changes without consulting both the student and the family. However, with hotter weather becoming more normal, I will be happy to consider a change for the future.
Oh.
In the meantime, some male students said they would continue to wear skirts because they found them to be more comfortable than traditional uniform.
So you telling me you're going to start wearing a skirt now and just try to see if it's more comfortable?
I may have to wear a skirt now. I may go get one.
With some Ugg boots?
Wear it with my Ugg. I have Ugg boot. I'm going to wear it with my Ugg boot.
There you go. I guess we got to...
It's a new Hey, the romper style now than the men's romper.
You can romp. You can wear your skirt, your romper, and your Ugg boots all at the same time.
But the only problem with my men's romper,
yeah,
I ordered it. It won't come in until the end of August. So.
Well, you'll be all right. Just to be warm. PRCA Rodeo. Right here. Let's throw down some results right quick before we jump into another call about the Billy the Kid books we got here, the author of that deal. Your unofficial through June of this week. Your all-around leader is Caleb Smith. Your bareback leader is Tim O'Donnell. Your steer wrestler, Ty Erickson. Team rope and header, Luke Brown. Healer, Billy Jack Saban. Saddle bronc, Jacobs Crowley. From Born Bernie, if you missed that episode of the discussion of the town. Tie down, you got Marcus Costa. Bull rider, Garrett Smith. And your steer roping leader is Scott Sneedsker right there. And with that, let's test this out and see if we can get old Nicole here on the line. I don't even know where we're calling to. I know it's not here.
Hello?
Nicole.
Hey.
You are live here on the Pepper Stewart Show. What part of the country are you in?
I'm in Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia.
Okay. All right. We knew it was a different time. Just weren't sure how different or how far.
About an hour apart.
Hour? Okay. That's not
hour
bad.
and different.
That is not too bad at all. So we were talking about this here a little bit earlier. The Bandita Bonita and Billy the Kid.
It is about Billy the Kid, yes.
Yes. So what about Billy the Kid that got you to write these books? What is it about him that piqued your interest?
Well, I don't know where to start with this, to be honest with you, but I will say this. When I was 13, I went to see Young Guns. And, I mean, I'm a girl. I've always been interested in the West. Don't know where that came from, because I was quite young. But but this is what got me to see the movie, and I was so, just the charisma from Emilio Estevez just kept me, like, glued to the screen. And I saw Billy the Kid up there. Didn't know who he was at that point. I knew about him. Didn't start researching him until after that. So this is, for years I've researched him. I didn't really start doing it intensely until 2009 because, I had a lot of growing up to do. Kind of went off on a couple of things and then came back to it. But that's, I guess, really where it started. And the more I learned about him, his life is so ripe for storytelling. I mean, the kid's orphaned. I think about 15, his mother died, and then his stepfather turns him away, doesn't want anything to do with him, and he had gotten caught stealing some clothes. Well, his friend had stole clothes, and he hid them for him, and this was his first escape. Sheriff threw him in Silver City, threw him in the jail, and he shimmied up the chimney and got out. And he only did it to kind of scare Billy, but, Billy was scared, and he took off and went to his stepfather, turned him away, and then goes off, kills a man in self-defense, steals the horse, and then winds up returning the horse because a year or so earlier, a friend of his, they were stealing horses, and they were caught by the military, and they thrown in jail. He escapes again. After that, he never stole another horse. So his whole life is just crazy. It's romantic on so many levels. So I just wanted to put it out there, and this was my way of trying to do that.
Now, when you were writing the book and putting all this together, how important was it to you to kind of keep with the history of Billy the Kid?
100%. That was the whole point. I started out writing a biography, and then I thought, what am I doing this for? And basically I wanted to write it from my point of view. But then I realized, well, I'm just writing things. I mean, there are so many biographies on him, and I'd just be taking other people's hard work because all of the really difficult stuff that's being looked into, where he came from, where he was actually born, who his father was, if his mother was really his mother or not, et cetera, that stuff is for, the people, the historians who are actually researching this, and I know who they are, and I hope they do very well with it. But with what we do know, I wanted to transcend genres, hopefully, from the Western into mainstream, and the way to do that was to do it the way I was writing it. But, again, the most important part was to get his story right. That was the whole point. If I wanted to try and expand on his story, which he really probably doesn't need me to do, if we're honest, because it's 2017, and this is a kid who died over 130 years ago, and we're talking about him right now. So, but that was the point. So, very, very important to me.
Now, when you're working on a book like that, and you get in the zone, you get focused, you've got your idea, and you're rolling with it. How much time is involved in that? Like on a daily basis, how much time does an author put into a story?
In the writing, and that is a somewhat difficult. I mean, I can't speak much for other authors. Generally, I do know that they tend to do outlines, and they commit themselves to certain hours a day. In general, I don't do that. I call myself the Fonzie of writing because I write what I want. I have to feel that. That emotion has to come out on that page for me, or else it's no good. I can't put limitations on my creativity, or I can't stifle my creativity by forcing myself to sit down. So I am constantly thinking of my stories and my characters, and it gets to the point where I'm living their lives. I mean, mind you, I can separate reality from fantasy, so there's no problem there, but it takes up an inordinate amount of my time, and then I get in the mood to write it down, and I think of something really great, have to write it down. That's my process. It might seem a little free-spirited to other authors, but that's what works for me. So nothing set. I do it when I want.
Okay. Well, yeah, it hits you, and you got to get it down and get to going. So
I do. I got to get it down. I absolutely will. Even if I have to write it by hand, which I hate doing because I type 100 words a minute. But if I am in a place where it's really unfortunate to do, like I wrote the first book. I was working full time. I wrote it on lunch, at night, and on weekends. Got it done, had to get that book done. But if I, when I'm in an unfortunate position here, if I'm like working and I come up with an idea, I have to hurry up and quick write that down. I have to. It's too important to me not to do that. And I got my work done. It was no big deal. But I will write it down. Even if I'm sleeping and I am dead tired, I will get up and write it down.
Now, as far as your book writing goes and stuff like that, what would you consider to be a great accomplishment in your writings?
A great accomplishment as far as my writing goes. Well, I've got the 2 books in the series out, but getting that first book done was a major accomplishment. There are a lot of aspiring writers, and they think, I want to write a book someday, or I'm sure I'm going to write a book someday, and fortunately I never had that kind of optimism. I thought, if I don't figure out how to write a book someday before I die, I'm going to be mad. And fortunately, I was naturally inclined into understanding the intricacies of writing a novel, but there are people who are on the opposite side who think it's easy, and then when you get into it, it's like being thrown into a tornado and tossed out on the other side. So getting that first book done and understanding, like I said, that the mechanics of what needs to go into a story as far as character development, protagonist, antagonist, what their points are, subplots, et cetera, once I got that done, and I realized how hard it was, a lot of hours spent. People look at books, they don't think about that. The hours, the blood, that's literally my soul on those pages. Once that was done, I got to the second one, and of course I knew the story. I wrote it in my head for 3 years. Like I said, I don't really do the outline. I have to believe it. Once I got that first one out, it was easy after that to write a book. And I don't want by any way to say it's easy. I don't mean it like that. It's just you get it done. The accomplishment itself kind of gives you the confidence to move forward and say, okay, I can do this. And now you've already been through. In my opinion, it does.
Is there a writer out there that you look up to, or somebody that you've read that kind of inspires you a little bit?
Yeah, I can't say that today. There really is. In fact, I look at reading a lot different now that I write. But Stephen King, I would say, when I was younger, in my teens and 20s, because his character, was able to connect, and he's still a great writer. I just don't think he does it as well as he did, if I can say that. But he's able to get his audience the intuition of that, to understand the intuition of that character. He puts you in their head, and you're able to empathize. Okay, granted, you feel the desperation because it's Stephen King, and you feel you're not feeling happy things. You're thinking kind of sad thoughts, but it's working. It works. So that resonated with me, being able to put yourself into characters' thoughts, and actions, not just dialogue or narration, but the way he does it. I'll just say, for, I guess, the layman, he puts it in italics when you're in their mind, and I love that. Outside of that, especially after writing a book, I love books still. I love great stories, but I see the mechanics. I know when an author's trying to shoehorn sympathy in for a character, whether I'm buying it or not. So I've seen the man behind the curtain and the way it works. So that's hard, and I don't mind that. I'd rather be a writer than lose myself completely in a book now. I just think at this point, especially accomplishing that myself, anybody who can write a book and who commits to it and they finish it, and I'm taking a break from the third book. I am halfway through, by the way, in the series, but I'm working on a young adult book that's contemporary based now. Has nothing to do with the West or, cowboys or anything. What was that? Where was it? Okay. Authors. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. When I read books now, I just read the stories, and I kind of pay attention a little bit to what's going on, and I don't always remember the authors' names. I mean, I completely admit that. I don't remember. So I can't say there is, Pepper. I'm sorry. I went off on a tangent on you there.
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff. Now,
I guess it is good. Okay.
It's good information for people that want to know. People out there that don't write, they want to know they want to hear the ins and outs of how you perceive other things. Just like the same thing, for me, for instance, say I'm watching a TV show that that's got rodeo in it or ranching in it, and you're sitting there and you're picking all the stuff, going, well, that's not right. They don't do that. That's not how that works. And
you notice that stuff.
Yeah.
You notice it, and it doesn't take me out of a story. In fact, I'm kind of glad I notice it. I know it kind of helps me because you're always constantly trying to self-improve. That's what we do as human beings, and so as a writer, it's good for me to notice that stuff. And I don't want to discourage anyone, but my advice to them, and I don't know if you were going to ask me this question at some point, but it's a question that is always asked. Is never, and the answer to that, you may notice repeatedly, is never give up. I don't say that. I don't give that advice. Someone has that kind of stamina and fortitude, more power to them. I would never take that away from them, but it's very hard. I say be prepared to do the work. Authors do their research, and if you want a good book, even if people don't like your story, if you want to write good characters, you need to know how to do that, and you need to put a lot of effort into that. It's hard. It's not an easy endeavor. But like I said, I don't want to discourage. I just want to give you the facts there, for anybody who does want to get involved with it and want to do it. You can do it. You can if you're really committed to doing it. And I was committed to doing it, thank God, I've always wanted to do it, so.
Now, you mentioned some books. You mentioned another book you're working on, so you've got some upcoming stuff that's going to be coming out?
Well, it's not going to be coming out anytime soon, unfortunately. I kind of wanted to have it done by the end of the summer, and maybe I will. I've got it's actually finished technically. 60,000 words constitutes a novel. I have probably I'm guessing, somewhere between 20 and 25,000 words left that I want to get to, and I'm working out the ending, and this is just the first draft. So, and I always do my first draft as well as I can. I don't just, get down the bones of it. I like to write it as if I'm writing a story so that by the time I get to the second draft, it's going to have a lot in there that I can either take away or I'm going to have enhanced on it, and then the third draft. And I can usually get through that stuff pretty quick. In fact, it only took me 3 months to write the first novel of Bandita, and that is 185,000 words. It's an epic-length novel. But it took me 3 years in my head of writing it, mind you, because I wanted to get it right. So, and then the second book took me about the same time. But second books, they're all part of the same story. Third book, same story, because it's the third book. And there will be a coda, so it'll be a fourth book that's separate from this trilogy. But the young adult book, I would have liked to have that done as soon as possible. But like I said, I don't really rush these things and put constraints on my creativity. So, but that's what I'm working on now, because I've got the 2 books in the series out there. Let them kind of get out and percolate, and let me get into another genre, that kind of thing.
Now, if somebody's looking for these books, where would be the best place to send them to find these books?
God, I'd say Google, because they are available on Amazon and at Barnes & Noble, but they're also available at a lot of independent bookstores. So if there's any, local, they can check with their bookstore. And if they don't have it in, they can probably order it. They should be able to order it. It does sell in New Mexico, fortunately for that, in Sumner, in fact, which is fabulous for me. But that's where, anywhere, they can just Google it and find it, or go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Okay, we'll send them that way, and let them know about that, where they can find it. It's good stuff, some good reading, and we're looking forward to the next one coming out, concluding, adding to the goodness you've got going right now. And we will be looking forward to that. And Nicole, we do appreciate you visiting with us and telling us just a little about you, about your writing style and the process and things. And we hope to hear from you again, maybe when this next one comes out.
Okay, yeah, well, we'll be whenever. I love being on your show. Thank you so much for having me on it.
Well, thank you for visiting with us, and we'll catch you down the road.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
Good stuff. Can't wait to read that book.
Read the book. It's good. It's good for you. It's good. It's a different take. I was trying to put these up while we were going on. It's a take on it. But it's the Bandita. The Bandita Bonita. If you sabe español. But it's a romance story of her Billy the Kid. Oops. What was that? Okay. So you want to check it out? You gonna read it?
I read it.
It was good.
I read the whole book.
It was good. It was a good story. It was real. It was real good. Real good.
I'm glad you could give us information about that you might want to write a book because, you know.
You know somebody want to write a book?
I know. I have a plaintiff.
A what?
A
plaintiff.
Yeah, a plaintiff. Acquaintance.
Oh, they said a plaintiff. I thought you were in court.
No, I am, but I ain't talking about that one. Yeah, he always tells me every day how he wants to write a book. Working on writing a book. So
A lot goes into that. That's like she was saying. You know, people don't realize. You say you want to, you say you want to write a book, and you say you want to do it, you say you want to do it, but until you really get down there and start doing it, it's a lot more than what you think. Like she said, she wrote the book 3 years in her head and put it to paper. And she said 60,000 words. Gee, that's a lot of. That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of paper.
A lot of paper. Well, she said she liked typing though. But yeah, check it out. Look it up. Like she said, Google. As we say, Google is your friend. You can Google it up. Order yours and read the first 2 and anticipate the release of the 3rd of that series. Should be some good stuff right there. What else do we got going on?
Well, we can't have a show without Cattleman Steph story.
All right. Well, let me tell you about. Before you tell me about that, I'm gonna tell you about this. Cattle fever ticks are draining the ranchers' profits. Local ranchers said that the cattle fever tick continues to drain their profits. Many said they're having a tough time finding resources to fight the pest as the summer gets closer. Cattle rancher in Cameron County said the cost of keeping cattle clean is forcing small ranchers to get out of business. I said everybody that's been around me that's gotten the fever tick, they're out of business. He said the biggest issue isn't just the tick. He said it's the cost that follows regulations when you're under quarantine. He said he spent.
I've done that before.
You been in quarantine?
I've been in quarantine.
He spent $20,000 to $30,000.
I haven't spent that much, but I think I got something I can't get rid of.
Penicillin. Try that. On top of the treatment, he said you had to build a whole new facility.
I ain't done that yet.
Which can not only round up all his cows. And they said the cost doesn't end. He said every time the cattle are sprayed for the tick, they're marked with the yellow paint, which makes them difficult to sell because now your cow's marked. So, one of the things that help him stay in business is that all his cattle are already paid for. So something must be telling me that he's got to deal with. He's a supplier of somebody with beef. So after he makes sure all the ticks are gone, then I guess they hit the plate. I don't know.
Well, definitely.
What are you gonna tell me about?
I got a horse trailer was stolen in Stephenville. 14 calves missing in Oklahoma. 2 different stories. You got in Stephenville, North Texas, the theft of a horse trailer in Oak County. Trailer was last seen on May the 20th, and the trailer is white with black pinstripe. 2011. Chaleco, 2-horse job.
Chaleco?
Yeah, Chaleco, yeah.
Chaleco, in the vest? What?
Yeah. 2-horse job by John horse trailer with a dressing room.
All right.
Texas plate number 835-5848. You want the VIN number? You want the VIN number? Call me. I'll tell it to you. Anyone has information to us? Anyway, anyone with information, contact Goodman. The Special Ranger Goodman. Okay, you got in Oklahoma, you got 14-headed cattle, calves, that been missing from a pasture in Rodeo County. Missing since May 1st. They been missing a month.
Where'd they go?
14 black, white faced calves, 3 to 5 months old, no van.
Gotta brand your cows.
If you kill 14 head of calf with no van, they probably belong to this guy.
Yeah. That's why you brand your cows. And the hurricane season is upon us. That's another reason to have your cows branded. Your cows, your horses, whatever you got outside, make sure it's branded because it's hurricane season. Stuff's going to disappear.
Brand everything you own, even your women, right?
Tex tried that one time.
I thought I don't have one.
He tried to brand one.
And she ran away when I bought the brand and all out.
Yeah, that happens though. We still got so many stories we ain't even got to yet. We're going to keep saving these. I had a funny one somewhere. India. India and the beef trade. We had India and beef trade. We got so much stuff, but hey, you know what? We got to go. We got stuff to do. We got to get down the highways and byways of Texas. We are out of here. So if you're looking for Tex, find him on the Book of Faces, Tex Travis. Find my Farmer Dollar, Tex Travis 903 or Texas 3. He's on there. Take him out.